Welcome to APCS Unit 2 in under 2 minutes using objects. An object is an instance of a class, and a class is just a blueprint that defines the behaviors and attributes that an object will have. So to create an object of a certain class, you would have to call the constructor, which just creates the objects and initializes its attributes. So first up, you have the class name, the name of the object you want to name it, anything, the new keyword, and then you call the constructor, which has the same name as the class. Then any parameters will go in between the parentheses, and then you end with a semicolon. Now, inside a class, you can call void methods, non-void methods, static methods, and non-static methods. So a void method just doesn't return any value. However, a non-void method returns some sort of value like an integer or a string. Some example of this would be one of the methods part of the scanner class. So if I want to get an integer from the terminal as input, I can use the scanner object that I created and call the next int method, and this will return an integer that's put into the terminal and stored inside a variable. So this is an example of a non-voided non-static method because it returns some value in integer, and it's non-static because it requires an object to be created for it to be used. However, a static method just belongs to the entire class and you don't need to create an object. An example of this would be any of the methods from the math class. You could, for example, if you want the power of two numbers, you can use math.pow. You would call it using the class name instead of just an object name, and then any parameters would go in there. That's just non-static methods, static methods, non-void methods, and void methods in Java.